Up till now, we've seen that we can change the text inside the selected HTML element using this thing called inner HTML. But there's actually another property that you can tap into, and it's called the text content. And it might seem that at a glance that they do exactly the same things. They basically just change the text of whichever element that we select, right? But actually, it's slightly different because the inner HTML does exactly what it says on the tin. It actually gives you the HTML that's in between the element tags. So for example, if I try to get the current value of the inner HTML, it's hello. But let's go into our code, and if I add a strong tag around our word hello, then I also get the strong tags. But if I try the same thing with text content, then that's kind of exactly what it is, right? It just gives you the text content. So what this means is that if you select the H1 element and then you use inner HTML, then it will literally give you all of the HTML that is inside that element's tags, including any other HTML tags. So this means that if you use inner HTML, you can also add HTML code on the fly. So for example, if we wanted our hello to not only change its text to goodbye, but we also wanted that word to be emphasized, so to be italicized effectively, then we can assign an EM tag around the word, and that goes into the inner HTML of the H1. And you can see that we change the text and we also apply that HTML element to the text. But remember that when you're writing code like this, the HTML also has to go into our quotation marks because the value has to be a string, because otherwise it's going to think it's JavaScript code, and this is certainly not JavaScript code, right? So remember that when you're changing this, be it inner HTML or the style value, you always have to specify it as a string. So have a play around with that and see if that makes sense, and apply some HTML using your JavaScript. And in the next lesson, we're going to talk about the last thing that we can manipulate, which is the attributes of each element.